Hello everyone, Simon Bart here, and welcome to a new movie review. Well, it's near the end of May and summer is around the corner. School season being soon over, vacation season coming around, and everyone will be having a fun time enjoying themselves. And in light of that, it's time to look at a movie that, while it takes place during the summer, is a delightful little film. And that, of course, is a Goofy movie. Goofy's son Max is trying to impress a high school girl named Roxanne, who he loves. So on the last day of school, Max and his friends PJ and Bobby pull off a stunt of having Max as the Roxanne Station power line to get Roxanne's attention. But Principal Mazur brings him and his friends to his office, and after Mazur tells Goofy what Max did, in a very exaggerated way, Goofy decides to bring Max fishing during the summer to Lake Destiny in Idaho. But before long, Max stops by to Roxanne and lies to her that he and Goofy are going to Los Angeles where Powerline's concert is being held, while Roxanne and the other high schoolers are watching a live broadcast of the concert at a party. And the rest of the film shows Goofy and Max trying to get along during their road trip, while coming across various surprises such as Bigfoot, Pete with his son PJ on their camping trip, and more. Like any underrated Disney theatrical film, there tends to be more good stuff than bad stuff in it. But one or two things about it just don't feel right in my opinion. Now, it's not anything bad, it just bothers me a bit. Firstly, the songs are a lot of fun. They are catchy, upbeat, and not hard to get into. But like many songs of films I review, the lyrics aren't too catchy. Only parts of them are, ironic since it's a Disney film. But at least they are enjoyable to watch and listen. And if I made a list of favorite songs, they would be Eye to Eye, Nobody Else But You, Stand Out, After Today, Open Road, and Nestor's Possum Park. The animation is all around pretty good for what it is, but some of the character expressions are kind of awkward and unsettling to look at. They sort of creep me out all the time. However, there's also the overused cliché of the father and son relationship and how the two work out. And why I say it's a cliché is because I really don't get why it's a popular thing. The two would get into arguments, the father doesn't know his son well or doesn't spend time with him, the son acknowledges he's grown up or hates to be embarrassed, the two would find a compromise, etc. What's the point of all this? True, this does apply to other combos of family ties, like mother and son, brother and sister, mother and daughter, brother and brother, sister and sister, father and daughter, etc. But father and son tend to be the most overused during the 90s, and sometimes 80s, and neither the mother or daughter, if they are around, don't get as much attention. Is it because it's more stronger to see them in debate? Is it more about being a man? I just don't get the popularity of this, and thankfully other family mixes are becoming known and done fairly well. And I bring this up because, even though the relationship of Goofy and Max do stem to the cliché, it's done nicely here. In particular with Goofy's character. He does love Max as his son, but he doesn't know him much and thinks he's still a kid. And even when Max does something that upsets his dad, Goofy's range of emotions do go beyond just being all cheerful and happy. He does get depressed, he does get angry, he does get sad, and he even gets annoyed. These pretty much evolve who he is and what he does with Max. This is the kind of father-son relationship that works when both go through emotions that other father-son relations don't. Not to mention, there are a few neat surprises in it. Like Mickey and Donald have a quick cameo, and then Mickey's shown at Powerline's concert, which seems fitting seeing how the short film Runaway Brain not only stars Mickey, but also was featured before this movie when it came out. The animatronics of Lester's Possum Park mostly homages the Country Bears, an attraction at Disneyland. And even though it's supposed to be run down and malfunctional, it would have been more funny audio-wise if the voices slowed down, glitched up more, or be static. It's fine visually, but it could have been something more. And it's an interesting notion that some people say that this movie is a feature-length version of the TV show Goof Troop. And I can see why, because the film features characters from the show and has a similar setting. But there are changes between the two, and in most respects, the movie is completely a standalone film, and stands out just as that in my opinion. Because even if it's a theatrical feature of the show, then the other characters would have been included too. And the actors voicing the characters did a nice job. Bill Farmer voices Goofy, Jason Marsden voices Max Goof, Jim Cummings voices Pete, Rob Paulsen voices PJ or Pete Jr., Kelly Martin voices Roxanne, Pauly Shore voices Bobby Zimmerman, Jenna Von Oy voices Stacy, Wallace Shawn voices Principal Mazer, Kevin Lima voices Lester the Possum, Stephen Campbell voices Powerline, Frank Welker voices Bigfoot, and Wayne Allwyn voices Mickey Mouse. As a whole, this movie is pretty fun. The characters are enjoyable, the story is nice, the animation is very good, and the songs, while having mostly forgettable lyrics, are catchy and fun. Director Kevin Lima has made a pretty enjoyable movie to feature Goofy and a very small cast of characters from the Goof Troop TV series. Though while I haven't seen the show, the movie itself is pretty much a standalone film. And for it to be one of the few theatrical films to feature a classic Disney character, it's all enjoyable, and I hope to see it again soon. So today, this movie will begin a rating of 3 stars. So thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter, and tune in next week for a new video. Me again. Yeah, I'm here to do the next movie that I saw in theaters, and whether or not you like or hate this movie, I hope you like my review of it. So, hope you enjoy it. Well, it's time to look at the next film in the Alien franchise, and one that left me disappointed. It's the sequel to the prequel movie Prometheus called Alien Covenant. The story is about a space crew who are on a mission to repopulate on a distant planet. But after a disaster occurs in which one member and a few embryos die, the remaining crew fix up the damage until one of them gets a rogue message in a space helmet. And the crew decide to follow the message to a nearby planet, where they meet David, the android from the last film, who is a survivor and explains what has happened, as each of the crew members are killed off by natural forces or aliens. Director Ridley Scott somehow made the Alien franchise, which he began, even weaker and confusing, with uninteresting characters, a messy story, and effects that are not worth anything. While I've only seen 3 Alien movies, the first 2 in Prometheus, I mostly found them to be okay, and that's really it. But with this one being a continuation of Prometheus, it really doesn't work as a sequel, or even more so as an Alien movie, for it really lacks in continuity and made things up that didn't fit with the previous films. But whether or not there is supposed to be a connection, the whole film is mainly a bore. And also having a setup similar to Prometheus and Alien, there's very little to keep me impressed, even if 1 or 2 things are original. Although I'm not a fan of the Alien franchise, I can say as a casual moviegoer that this film is completely pointless in existing. So today I'm giving this movie a rating of 2 stars. And that is it. So thank you for joining me, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter, and tune next week for a new video. Until then, take care. Me again. Yes, I'm here to do the next movie that I saw in theaters, and whether or not it's popular. Hi again. Yeah, I'm here to do the next movie that I saw in theaters, and whether or not you enjoy it, I hope you enjoy mine. Me again. Yeah, I'm here to do the next movie that I saw in theaters, and whether or not you enjoy this film, I hope you enjoy my review of it. So enjoy.